EGIncontrol taking on IMLoisira. We are still on Shakura's Plateau. The starting positions, of course, could change, so we'll keep an eye on that. And then, of course, we'll be watching to see if EGIncontrol will do something similar in this game. And we are going to have some different positions here now. As we see, actually, EGIncontrol spawning in the same location as the Red Protoss in the southeast. And his opponent, IMLoisira, as the blue Zerg spawning in the southwest.
Looks like a couple letters on the keyboard are just popping up every now and again. I can't wait to see what letter will come out next. Either way, it looks like EGIncontrol is sending that first probe out. Going to head to the front, and oh no, he's doing a stutter step. It looks like he's going to spam around a little bit, and will soon be popping down a pylon. There it is. Losira, a little bit disappointed with that little bit of stuttering, but hopefully all will sort out soon enough. Now, will EGIncontrol scout the close position or the cross spot first?
I think he's going to go for the cross, and that looks to be the way his probe is going over here. So he's going to do the cross position, then he'll go down. Not sure if that would completely negate his ability to do such a thing. But he'll just take a quick peek up here, and he doesn't have to go too far to know that there's no creep, and so he'll just go ahead and head back down to the only other position where it could be. And so now what are we going to see coming out from EGIncontrol as he makes his way down to the bottom? He's going to put the forge up, just puts it up on the other side.
Well, there was a slight gap from EGIncontrol over here in the last game.
Yeah.
So he might be trying to close that off this time. We see Losira, unaffected by the previous game, will be going for the pool extractor. We see that EGIncontrol is going to move down, and it looks like, oh my goodness, he might have just practiced this very, very carefully and will be going for the same cannon business yet again. And it looks like the only adjustment Losira is making is that he's sending that Overlord to his own natural this time, apparently to try to spot for this exact same opening again.
Yeah, and I mean, he will eventually see it. He did send it kind of the outside, so it is going to take a little bit longer, but there the pylon is going to be seen, and the cannon goes down. You see the probe move on through that drone, and oh, he puts down another pylon, so he's going to be able to reinforce that with just the one cannon. He goes back up to see what's going on, but a little variation there. No, he goes ahead and cancels that. And we'll see what he does next. There's the second cannon, so he does manage to go with it. Are you surprised by this at all, Sean?
I'm actually very excited by it. I actually always get a little disappointed when a player begins to do some sort of goofy play and it was apparently just a one-time deal. It was just him going, man, I really hope this ends up working out right. But in this case, it looks like EGIncontrol has actually something practiced a little bit more. We see the probe drone battle going on, and oh, if Losira can just start a third over here, oh, some Zerglings managed to sweep past it. EGIncontrol is actually building another pylon to block this place as well. And this could just be a devastating loss for EGIncontrol. If he prepared, this contain got in a good position in game one, and they had to reboot. Losira now taking a third base. There's the Nexus going down for EGIncontrol. And in all honesty, this is a very, very weird game.
Well, you know, again, it goes back to what we were talking about, Day, about the fact that Losira is a player who's not going to, he's going to look at the last game and he's going to analyze it and go, okay, well, you know, I wish I could have reacted that way. And so when it happened again, I feel like now we're seeing what was going through his head on how he wanted to react a little bit. You know, the probe will make his way back over to the cannon safety area, but he can drone now and not necessarily have to waste those 6 drones on 12 Zerglings. So the question is I wonder now how this is going to have an effect on him afterwards. Some drones pulled to try to pick off that drone. He does manage to get away, but then the Queen shuts him down. So that Queen is going to have a long walk over there to that third. And he's going to get assaulted by cannons in the meantime.
And now that that gateway is finished, a cybernetics core can get started. He can begin getting that warp gate upgrade. And the big danger to keep in mind is with that pylon cannon contain, with this pylon cannon contain, EGIncontrol can always warp in units. And if there are more Zerglings on this side, then he can just march the units right into the main and vice versa. So this is actually a very solid position to have for EGIncontrol. Almost impossible for Losira to get up that very much so wanted third hatchery.
And there we see the Queen going down, taking a lot of damage. So he actually comes out with a few less Zerglings and will take a few less losses. He's going to go ahead and take that out, no problem. Now, because the minerals went up so much and the third is down, it looks like we're going to have another hatchery going down. And you had asked if you thought that Losira was going to take a third, and I guess he just sort of did it, but just backwards.
Yeah, and you know, I think that this is an excellent response, given the fact that this Overlord did see this expansion Nexus go down for InControl. We're seeing the Chrono Boost on the +1 and on the Warp Gate, so no doubt a very substantial push. And oh no! Oh, InControl did not have the complete wall up at his front, and with the Zerglings marching into the base, this is almost an inevitable loss for InControl. He's going to take so much damage here. He's now trying to warp in a Stalker, something to be able to bolster this attack. But this is exactly what Losira wanted. Yeah,
I mean, I didn't even realize that there was actually a gap there, but there it was. It looks like the Lings are going to take the safe route and go ahead and attack that assimilator. Meanwhile, do we have any reaction from InControl? He has gotten out, well, a Stalker's coming out. He has a Sentry out as well. We're going to see that Simulator go down, and now we're going to see the Lynx going in for an attack again. Losira's being very, very careful about not to lose any of these. He can keep all these probes off of mining, and also, you know, he can take out as many as he possibly can. One Stalker does come in, and we have a Photon Cannon going down in the main.
I mean, this is just a tragic series of events for InControl. The fact that this actually happened twice in one game. The first problem, Losira easily prepared and took this expansion, and the second big issue apparently was not completely walled in, but InControl having a little bit of spacing problems. I could have sworn that he would have been walled in at this point, but now it looks like he is preparing to do a big Warp Gate push, finally cleaning up all those Zerglings in his own base. But we got this really fast +1 that we can't even use as InControl.
Yeah, right now on Losira's side, he's getting his Roach Warren. His supplies looking pretty good. He's at 68 of 78, droning up a ton. He's got a ton of drones at both his third and his second. And, you know, he's getting gas on both geysers here at the main. And so I, you know, just expect a bunch of Roaches to come out, but he is going to drone up on that one. And now that it's done, a few more Lings coming out. Now, a Twilight Council going down and +1 armor here for InControl. So what do you think we're going to see out of him? How is he going to finally transition out of this?
Well, a lot of Protosses have begun to favor Sentry plus Blink Stalker. The old-fashioned used to be that you would go Stalker Sentry and just do a very early mid-game push, but if you wait just a little longer and get that Blink, it can be significantly more powerful. We're seeing that +1 come out right now for Losira. He's starting to try to join these two bases together with Creep. Very important. We even see him rushing from both angles to get those together. And building some Spine Crawlers so we can get a couple of additional defensive positions in the middle. Getting an extra hatchery, clearly going into big macro mode. InControl may very well opt to play passive. When you're very, very far behind, sometimes the best play is to just build up an army of doom and try to move out for a big sweeping kill in the mid-game.
A Blink is going down right now for InControl. His Robo facility is about halfway done right now, and we did see a large amount of Lings being produced here by Losira. He's now gone back to the drones. He's putting down some Spine Crawlers as he sends his units out across the map. He can certainly check here on the third. Looks like that pylon's going to go down, and all of the units of InControl are going to make their way out. So the Lings do go and check for that third. And is InControl going to push forward? He is going to end up leaving. Is the probe going to put something down? No, he is going to end up leaving a pretty large gap here. So these Lings could be used as a counterattack if InControl decides to push.
Oh, and that would be such a smart play from Losira. InControl is a very small army, a very technical army, but here comes the Zergling counterattack, and marching straight into the main. InControl having a run-by problem yet again. Even though that cannon is up, anything is a huge vulnerable point for InControl. Losira going to target this robotics facility. Observer will pop out in time, but obviously very, very non-ideal spot for InControl.
Yeah, and actually he's going to do some pretty good damage here as well. Take out a couple of Stalkers. He goes back in the mineral line. Fortunately for him, there's a Zealot and a Cannon. So InControl, I mean, suffers the loss of losing his robotics facility, but does manage to handle the rest of the Lings quite well. He is getting +2 weapons. More Lings on the way with the Hydralisk Den as well from Losira. And it looks like, oh, another engagement, unintended or not, in the middle. Force fields finally go down, but 2 sentries are lost in that engagement.
We do see the InControls almost at 2-1 upgrades. Losira definitely behind on upgrades, but way ahead in the army count. And look at this, even having 7 spine crawlers. InControl trying to approach forward, but I think the smartest play is going to be exactly what InControl will do. He's going to advance forward, take this 3rd base, and then pull right on back again.
Yeah, we also have groove spines going down, roach speed, +1 attack is coming out, and here comes the initial hit. A lot of lings, a lot of roaches. He's going to have to force field those off, deal with the lings, and then I don't know how he thinks he's going to be able to deal with those roaches, but it certainly looks like Losira is just waiting for the barrier to fall so he can chase it down. And although roach speed is on the way, not quite done, so this Protoss army will manage to get back, but it will be finished soon.
So Losira just chasing everything down InControl, trying to get into a good position. More Stalkers popping out right now, but that is, again, a very intimidating Roach army. That one Stalker is caught a little off guard, might just blink to try to save it, but no, it doesn't quite manage to blink in time. Great force fields by InControl, warping in more Stalkers, trying to get an extra Immortal up to do a little bit of additional defense, but Losira looks determined to win right now.
Yeah, and you know what? He's got a backup plan if that doesn't work, Day. He's also getting the Ventral Sacks and the Overlord speed, so he knowing that InControl has a smaller army and it would need to go ahead and move back. He's also got plans to go ahead and drop, but now that the gateway is down, the units will start streaming in. Ling's trying to get in position to get some hits. This Immortal in the back line is actually doing a good amount of damage to these roaches, but as the Stalkers blink back, the Immortal becomes vulnerable, and Lings will manage to get it out, and this is just the swarm entering a Protoss base in fashion right here. And there's the
there
GG.
Is the good game from InControl that puts Losira up 1-0. InControl will have the map choice for the next set, but again, I think that's a very bitter loss for InControl. He's got his strategy completely and totally revealed in the first game, and Losira clearly made some dramatic adjustments for Game 2, and then subsequently InControl was trying to get his game plan back on track, no doubt had practiced against that variety of opening, and then accidentally had a little gap in the entrance of his base and was completely distracted by Zerglings. I mean, that game, honestly, InControl is probably almost relieved to have that moment, because now he gets a chance to recoup, play in a new game, play in a new situation. So his next map choice will be Tal'Darim Altar.
And it's a good map choice for him, too. You know, I don't know if he's got something specific in mind, guys, but we're going to take a quick break, and when we return, more action from the 2011 MLG Pro Circuit in Columbus. InControl versus Losira, Game 2.